Hey friends, welcome to our call. Super excited. We have a special guest tonight, Miranda. Hello. But first, I just want to tell you that we next week is an exciting week, Black Friday week. And so there is a strategy to Black Friday. We've already been like really working with spreading message about Plexus this month. We've been expanding our network, talking to a lot of people, and next week's going to be a really great week for follow-up. So I'm going to post in our somewhere, I don't know yet, probably in the team chat, how to go into your back office and find the people that you want to make different lists for. So we're going to have a list of like dream teamers. We're going to have a list of people who don't have a subscription set for November. We're going to have a people that you want to follow up with. Um, People that are interested in the business but haven't started sharing yet. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow in our team chat. Um, so also, um, you really need to be intentional about when you're going to work next week because you're going to want to work next week. I know you want the Christmas cash, so put it on your calendar now. Do it early in the day because I know how life is, and I know that you have a lot of distractions. If you're anything like me, you have three kids coming home tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot more going on around here. Um, so that's about it for my announcements. Jen, do you want to introduce Miranda?
Sure. So I had the privilege of meeting Miranda and when we were both at Jewel School. And I remember, I mean, I don't know where she's at now, but she was like a forerunner in the Icon Club and she had like 14 VIPs at that time. She had just gone Emerald the month before. So we were all like, please tell us what you're doing and what you've done. And she is on Brittany and Christina's team somewhere in there. So I know she's going somewhere and I love watching her journey. And I'm excited for her to share with us some of the things that have worked for her and what she's learned along the way and whatever she wants to share.
Hey, you guys. Thanks, Jen. Thank you guys for having me. Um, so I actually just did a little bit of a training and sharing my story for our team. And Brittany and Christina really wanted me to just share how I went from, I don't know if Jen even knows this, how I went from 1 foot out the door. I was totally checked out. I was done building my business, to deciding that I was actually all in, and then I hit Emerald 18 months later. And so I guess I'll just kind of share with you what that looked like. And then hopefully some kind of practical tips about what I did. But really quick, starting from the very beginning, I started Plexus only for the products. I had absolutely zero interest in the business from the beginning. I had done network marketing in the past. I ended up with lots of cupboards full of product that I didn't want, and I was like very set that I was not going to do that here. And so started for the products. Obviously had fantastic results. I had actually referred some of my friends to my sponsor. It's like, I'm not doing it. You can go sign up with her. Um, and then life changed. And my husband called me during COVID on his way home from North Dakota, to let me know that he no longer had work and he didn't know when he was going to have work again. And all of the sudden, my brain went to like, okay, we need to like majorly change the way that we're living. Like, stuff needs to get cut from the budget. And very selfishly, I did not want to cut my product. The budget because they were like the only thing helping me feel like myself again. And I was just not interested in going back to being exhausted and irritable and barely functioning. And so my thought was, okay, well, I've done network marketing in the past. I know the basics of it, that surely I can get a few people underneath me and I can just get my product costs covered. And if I can bring in a couple extra $100 a month and just take a little bit of stress off of my husband, that will be good. So I'll do that. And that was in October of 2020. At that point, I went to my sponsor and I was like, here's the deal. circumstances have changed. I've decided I actually am interested in the income opportunity. You just tell me what to do and I'll do it. One thing about me is I'm very good at just taking action. Like if I have a reason to do it, you can tell me the simple things to do and I will go and I will take action. So she told me how to reach out to people. She told me what information to share and I just went all in. I literally messaged like I think every single one of my Facebook friends, all the people in my phone was just like, "Hey, this is what I've been doing. This is the results I've had. Let me know if you're open to hearing more about it." And I went from silver to senior silver to gold in that month. And then I hit senior gold the following month, ruby a couple months after that. And then I'd like to say I got stuck. I really just ultimately stopped working. My husband had gone back to work, so my why was no longer urgent. Um, and I had gotten to a point in my business that if I wanted to actually grow any bigger, it was going to require me getting uncomfortable and like leading people and growing. And honestly, I didn't want to do that. And so I had never taken the time to really dig past like what Ruby could do for us. And like I said, Ed was back at work, so the money wasn't as needed anymore. And I just was not willing to get uncomfortable. And so at that point, very much I had one foot in the door, one foot out. Was definitely kind of still in just because I really liked the fun. I liked going to convention. I liked the community, but I was not working, and so I was very close to just being done. And then something shifted in January of 2024. So last January, I don't even know how the conversation came up, but basically it was having a conversation about just like our childhood and like the relationship we had with our parents now as adults and just seeing things differently and something hit me so hard and I just kept thinking about like who my kids would see, like what they would think of me like 20 years from now. Like and if I was okay with them seeing me as somebody who like avoided doing anything hard and just wanted to stay comfortable and didn't feel like growing and like it hit me like really, really hard. I was like, I am not okay with that. I am not okay with 20 years from now, my kids being like, oh yeah, I don't know, my mom was home with us. Like my dad did all these like really great things. He ran businesses, he did whatever, and like my mom was home. And don't get me wrong, I love being a stay-at-home mom. I really do it. But I personally was not okay with like that just being the only thing. And so I realized what I really wanted was I wanted them to see somebody who like chose to be responsible and wanted to grow and wanted to serve people and like use the gifts that God gave me and just really like steward my life well. And I just wasn't doing that. And so I like really dug into my why. I asked my sponsor and other levels up in my upline. I was like, okay, ask me hard questions. Like I really want to get like deep here and figure out like what I would need to do to get uncomfortable. And so got so unbelievably clear on what that looked like and decided to go all in, like took complete ownership of my business. And within 18 months, I ended up re-ranking Ruby, hitting senior Ruby, and then hitting Emerald in that 18-month period. So I think the main things I did was like I said, I took 100% ownership of my business. I didn't make any excuses. I stopped waiting for like perfect circumstances. My husband, up until very recently, he worked in the oil field. So he was gone for 2 weeks, home for 2 weeks. I solo parented half the month all by myself, helped run all of our other businesses. Like I had a ton going on, but I just like, I'd get up early, I'd stay up late. I just figured out a way to make this work. Um, I think one of the biggest things that helped me was I learned how to manage my time. I like avoided time blocking forever. Um, I don't know if you all know like your Enneagram type or like your color personality. I'm an Enneagram 7. I'm a blue personality. Like if it is not fun and it is not does not feel like flexible, I am like out. And so time blocking sounded like very rigid and very not fun. And so I was unwilling to do it. But what I found is it actually gave me so much freedom to be able to like say no to things and like fit in the stuff that wasn't important. And it just really helped me stay on track and get things done. And I wouldn't go to bed feeling like guilty, like, oh man, I just did all this other stuff and I didn't actually do what I said I was going to do. So definitely recommend looking into time blocking. Um, I learned how to say no to a lot of like immediate things. So for example, Ed and I would spend way too much time at night just like watching TV. And I was like, listen, this is not even like good quality time. Like if you want to go watch TV, that's fine. I'm gonna go and work. I'm gonna do this so that then like eventually we can actually go and do like fun, meaningful things together. And so um I did that. I delegated. I gave away a lot of stuff to other people to do that I just didn't feel was worth my time. Um, and then I think, like I said, at the beginning, I think the biggest thing was just digging into your why. Like if it's been a while since you really sat in that and figured out like why are you actually doing this and not just like surface level, like, oh, $500 would be great. Like, but like really dig in and maybe not even necessarily the financial end of it. I don't think people, I know myself, I don't think people are willing to get uncomfortable unless they like really know why they're doing it. Um, and so like some of the things that looked like for me is I started getting up every morning at 4:45 because I could work for 2 consecutive hours before my kids woke up. And then when they woke up, like I was not stressed out about all the stuff I had to get done. Like I just got it done. But I knew it was worth it to get up that early because I was moving, where I wanted to go. And so just figuring out what would make you get uncomfortable. Um and then the other thing is just making sure that you're following up with people about the income opportunity just as much as you follow up about the products. Um, Someone might not have a reason the first time you ask. Like I said, I was not interested when I started. I said no, and I was very adamant no. And the second time and the third time, no, 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 no. But life does change and circumstances do change, and um, all of the sudden, from like one day to the next, I had a very, very real why of why I would go and do this. And so I think it's just important that you like keep that door open for your customers or prospects because you never know when they might need that. And so that's all I have, Jennifer, but I'm happy to answer questions if you have like any specific stuff you want me to share.
Okay, yeah, I think we would have questions. Did I see you
Yeah.
raising your hand, Jill, or was that an accident? Oh, it was
Open
an
up the
accident.
tab.
Okay. Oh, well, I would like to know how you knew like what kind of things you needed to do to get uncomfortable, or like how did you know what you were avoiding?
Oh, I mean, so like I said, I am willing to just do what people tell me to do. Like I'm very, very coachable. Like I said, if I have a reason, like once I knew why I was doing this and I was ready to go and I was ready to get going, I like went right to Abby and so Abby Taylor is my direct sponsor. And then it's April and then Christina. And so I went to all three of them and I was like, you can just tell me. Like, what do I need to do? I not my feelings won't be hurt. Just tell me what I need to do. I plug into a lot of personal growth opportunities, like we do team book studies. Um, I had to learn how to reflect. I don't know if I think that's like an Enneagram 7 thing. It's like very uncomfortable and not fun to reflect and stuff, but like just making myself take the time to do that and figure out like, okay, well, if I did this thing that seems really uncomfortable and terrible, like what could maybe happen from that? Because again, if I can believe it's worth it, I'll do it. But it's just getting to that point of if I can believe it's worth it or not.
That's good. Does anyone else have a question? Because I would keep going if you don't, but anyone else have a question for Miranda?
I feel like we have the same brain.
Okay.
I see Kim laughing too, and she's like Marion. It's the same way. I know. I am. Yeah, I totally am with you on the time blocking thing. It feels like, but I love my freedom.
Yeah.
But then you do it and you're like, wait, this is real freedom.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
okay, so I want to ask you what feels really simple in your business right now? Like what are you doing? Maybe you can't even think of it because it's easy for you.
Um, if you all have not, that's another tip I would have. If you haven't done the Strengths Finders test, you should all go do that. The Clifton, oh, what is it called? The Strengths Finder 2.0. If you buy this book, you get like a free code to go and take the test online. So I found out that like communication, woo, and developing are like three of my top strengths. And so I started spending a lot more time just on coaching calls with some of my builders and just like really casting vision and getting to know them and like making them really dig into their why. And I feel like really helping develop other people is something I'm like naturally good at. And once you like start working within your own strengths instead of like trying to work within your uplines, it's so much more fun and just you get so much better results. So I think for a while, like obviously you all know who Christina Williams is. She's like very red and she's very action focused and she can do a ton of IPA. And like if I were to try and do that, it would like stress me right out. But being able to like focus more on like the relationship building and like developing people, that's really fun for me. Did that answer your question? Okay.
I feel like it also answered the question because I think what we're always asking is how do we find more builders or how did you find people who wanted to do this with you? I think that's a lot of our question.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely started posting about that a lot more on my social media when I decided I was going for Emerald. So I was like, well, I'm surely not doing that by myself. So, um, yeah, and then like I said, just following up with people because I found there was a gap for me personally as I was following up about with the products a lot and for whatever reason I wasn't following up near as much about the opportunity. I don't know if I just convinced myself like they said no, they're not going to. But just started doing that a lot more.
That's good. Does anyone else have any questions? Now's your time.
I do. So you said you like kind of like stopped working and then, but you were like technically like working, like, right? Like so like when you decided to jump back in, because like I feel like in the beginning there's a lot of momentum, right? I'm sure your way to Ruby, I guess, was it Ruby or yeah, there
Ruby.
was probably a lot of momentum, but then once you kind of took the gas off, did it feel really hard to like, okay, like I have these customers and I have talked to a lot of people and I got as far as I could go. How do I get further now that I kind of, there's no momentum or not much momentum or whatever, and I don't have as many people to reach out to anymore? Like, how did you like rev it back up again?
I don't think I was worried that I didn't have people because there's just millions of people. And I was willing, like, I actually love cold market. I have like very less feelings about cold market reaching out to people. But I think for me, I had to mend some relationships when I came back, which was again just like 100% ownership on my end. I had to go in and apologize to my one business builder that was still working, who I just like had not really been supporting. I'd kind of just like let her figure things out. So I had to mend that relationship. And then I had to say sorry to a lot of customers that had started with me, and then I just really didn't give them probably as good a customer care as I should have. So going back and just, apologizing to them and asking if I could, help them get either restarted or just get on better track with what they were currently doing. But then in regards to like bringing in new people, I just went right back to following up with the people I needed to follow up with. Like I probably should have followed up with them a year before, but I was like, well, now is better than nothing. And then like I knew, like I said, I knew I needed to bring in new business builders if I wanted to actually get to Emerald. And so I went right into my cold market and started talking about the business a lot.
When you say cold market, where were you? Were they just people you didn't know or like
Yep.
from social?
hmm
And you just started, your friend requested them and brought up the business right away, or
Yeah, I mean, I was in a lot of like homeschool mom groups. I was in a lot of oil field wife groups. So I would connect with people that way, send friend requests. It was really important to me that if they were going to be on my social media, I had to have something else in common with them that I could either give them value in some way or like we could have a conversation about something. And so a lot of times it was either homeschool moms or oil field wives because I could start up the conversation about one of those things. Um, and then I would say, I would engage on their stuff a little bit, but I do have some red in me too. I'm pretty open to just going right into somebody's inbox and just being like, hey, this is what I do. I have no idea if you're looking for it, but if you are, like, this is what I have. I'd love to share with you. And some people are open to it. Some people won't talk to me until the fifth message. And me once in a while, I get someone to just delete me. That's okay. I
Did
guess
you lead, did you
that
lead
person's
with,
uninterested.
did you lead with the business or the products?
I've done both. I think I, it's more likely that someone will talk to me about the products, and then you can kind of shift into the business. But if it's somebody like based on what they're posting about on social media, if I feel like we have very similar values or a lot in common, I feel like, okay, like this is somebody I really want to work with, I'll go right in with like a very bold voice message telling them why I think they'd be good at this and why I would love to work with them.
And I promise this is my last question. How many people would you
Okay.
say, how many people would you say you reached out to every week or day or however you want to break it down?
Gosh. Um, I don't even know if I have an idea. And it went in seasons too, because like I said, like my husband worked for 2 weeks, gone all the time. And so like when he was gone, I sent less messages versus when he was home, I would work a lot more.
Gotcha.
Um, and then like especially like my Emerald push,
Yeah,
I was sending, I don't even know how many messages a day. Anywhere from like 10 to 100, I bet.
got it.
I would say a minimum of 10 messages a day. But yeah, there were some weeks that it was a lot of messages going out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
I say
I have a question.
tracking my messages is not one of my strengths, Jill. Probably something I should maybe know a little better, but I do not. Go ahead, Jody.
First, do you use Teamsy or anything else like that to help you care for customers and your team?
I use a paper planner
Oh,
that
old
is my
fashioned.
backpack at home. Oh no, it's right here. Right here. I use a
Okay.
paper planner from Target. And I write in people's names of when I need to like check up with them. So I have like a section for uh like prospects that I need to follow up with and then like a section for customers that I need to follow up with. And I just write in like what day they're on for the first probably 60 days. If I need to check in, otherwise it'll just say their name. Like if they've been with me longer, then I'm only checking in maybe once a month or once every other month. I
Okay.
did just recently, I'm trying an online thing, but I'm not loving it. So I'm probably just gonna go back to my paper planner. So
And my other question is, you said you got up and for 2 hours before the kids got up, you worked.
yep,
So how did you break down those 2 hours for me? What does that look like?
I
What did
still
it
do
look
that. Yep. So I actually get up. So we do this with our team as well. So there's like 30 of us that wake up together every morning at 5 a.m. and get on a Zoom and do mainly just IPA. So once in a
Okay.
while, like Christina or somebody will say like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing today. If you want to do the same thing," a lot of times I'll just do that because my brain like isn't quite awake yet at 5 a.m. But it's basically, I would say the first hour is sending messages. So whether that's to customers, inviting them to maybe an event that our team is having, or prospects that I'm following up with, maybe to listen in on a product event or sharing testimonies. Like it's a lot of follow-up and new messages. And then for the second hour is mainly my own personal social media work. So either like making some story slides, writing posts, maybe making some kind of little like value content that I can share with people. And then the rest of my day is spent more on my team. Like when I'm fitting in gaps in my, like throughout my day. Like, so I get all my own stuff done in that 2 hours. And then throughout the day, like during nap time, I can usually get a little bit of work done. I'll be checking in with like my business builders and seeing how I can help them kind of keep moving forward in their business.
I can see how getting up with the group gets you out of bed because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, they're all doing it too. I can
Yeah.
do it. You know, it's not, you're not just alone.
The first like week, I was like, what am I doing? It's so early. But it's way helpful if you can get a couple other people to commit to doing it with you. So I'm like, well, they're gonna get on. I can't not get on.
Yeah, right. I got to
So
show up for them.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Ellen, did you have a question?
So my whole thing is like, I'm horrible with like checking in on people. Or like, I can't stand whenever I message people and they don't look at my message. And like, I reach out, like, we've got a sale going, or like there's some sort of special whatever. And I look and there's like 4 messages that they already have not looked at. I'm like, why should I even bother? Keep doing it. Thank you guys. Like, how many times have you sat there and like messaged someone and they haven't looked at it? Like, have you messaged 5, 10 times and they haven't looked at it and they finally decide to look at it? Like, I can't stand being ignored. That's my problem.
Are you specifically talking about customers checking in how they're doing or like prospects, like people that you're trying to get started?
So kind of both.
Okay.
I have had one woman who, just shuts me down all the time. She's like, I don't want to sell anything. I'm like, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to. Another woman is just like, oh, it's never the right time, but she wants to do the products. And I've tried, talking about the business and stuff, and it doesn't fit. But then also I have the customers that I check in with and I message like a week later, hey, how's everything working? And it's like, oh, I stopped using the product. Okay, well, why? And I get somebody else in on the conversation. And then so we've got like a little 3-way chat going, and this is the issue that you're probably having. You're probably detoxing, whatever. And go ahead and start back on the product. This is what you need to do. And then we check back in like a few days later. Hey, how's it going? And it's just crickets. And I've messaged like 3 or 4 times since then. And it's like, they're not even looking at my messages. And it's frustrating. And it's like, do I keep messaging you because you're ignoring me? Or do I just like leave you alone and you'll come to me?
So I think, I mean, it could be a couple different things. For me, whenever it's a customer, I will ask them right away in the front end what the best way of communication is. Prospecting is different, so I'm not going to accommodate different things for prospecting. But for a customer, I'll ask them right out. Like, do you prefer to jump on the phone once in a while? Do you want to text? Do you want a Facebook message? Do you want me to email you? And I will just tell them right out, like the reason I need to know this is because it's really important that you stay in contact with me for those first 90 days. You are going to probably go through detox. You are going to probably need to adjust your doses, and I cannot help you unless I know how to best communicate with you. And so I think just really setting up that expectation on the front end is helpful. And then at the end of the day, you're just going to have people that don't want to actually put the work into feeling better. And I think there's only so much you can do to get them to take their products. I mean, there's some people like, I can't come and put it in your mouth for you. So I don't know what to do here. But I think definitely asking like what the best form of communication is. As for prospecting, if someone's not seeing my message, like if the little bubble is not in Messenger, I'll take them off my follow-up list. They're probably not looking at Messenger. Maybe they don't even have Messenger on their phone or whatever. I can move on to somebody else. But if they're seeing my message, I will keep messaging them till they die or tell me to stop. Doesn't bother me at all. If their bubble is there and they're seeing it, it doesn't. I mean, I significantly space it out. Like for the first couple months, I'll reach out a few times, and then it's probably once every, 3 to 6 months that I'll continue. But The thing is, you guys, I've seen it happen where somebody ignores me, I've been here for 6 years now. So I worked up to Ruby, sat there for a long time. I've been Emerald for 6 months, 5 months. But I've been in Plexus for 6 years. And so I've seen people ignore my messages for years. And then all of the sudden they want to get started. And I'm like, so interesting. You've never responded to any of my messages before, and now you're ready. So I've just decided to keep following up. But I think it's really important too, Ellen, to like not take that personal. I don't think people do it because they are trying to be rude or that they have any kind of feeling. I think people are busy. I think people just don't feel like they need stuff right now. I mean, like I said, like with the business for me, I said no to my sponsor over and over. Like, no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. And then I did. So I think it's the same with products. They can say no or not respond for a long time, and then someday they might. So, yeah.
Thank you. I definitely think that like I need to start doing the whole, how do you like to be communicated? And like,
Yeah.
I find that I'm the type of person like I hate texting stuff, and I'm not one to like copy and paste stuff. I don't like it. And that's probably where I fail a little bit. But definitely I'm a video sender, so I'll be like, here, watch this video, like take it out of the back office or whatever. But I think letting them know like some expectations about the detox and whatnot, and being like,
Yeah.
how do you like to communicate? I think that is something I definitely need to be doing.
Yeah.
I think Melissa had a question, and then we're gonna wrap it up because we want to respect Miranda's time. So last question.
I think you're muted, Melissa. I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm technologically challenged on my
Okay.
phone here. Oh my God. Look at now. I don't even know what I just did. Okay. So just to follow up what Ellen was saying, because I was that person, kind of am that person. Dawn can probably back me on this one, but I was that one that was like, why aren't they texting me back? Why aren't they reading my messages? Da, da, da. Last month, a year after, a complete year after I continuously reached out to a couple of my friends, like my actual friends, and I was like, I know this product is going to work for you. Like, I know their issues and whatnot. And they're doing, one of them ordered last month, and then one of them is doing the 7-day challenge that we're doing right now, the 7-day slim challenge. And she's like, oh my God, I'm less bloated. And oh my God, I feel this and I feel that. And literally, like, for a year, a legit year, I just had to learn that it wasn't the time for them at that time. And, so I'm a work in progress. It doesn't come easy. But I did love what Miranda said too about what's the best way to communication. Like, I like that. That was something I'll need to work on as well. That's all.
And I think the other thing I was going to say, Ellen, too, when you were saying like sending videos, I've even asked people that. Like, if I've sent them videos before and I don't feel like they've watched them, I'm like, would you rather read something? Like, do you not want to watch a video? Because I can send you a document or a little graphic or something. So I think just really finding out like, okay, how can I help them have the most success, and have like a few different types of tools saved on your phone that you can kind of pull from for your customer care. I think systems are really important. I also avoided them for a very long time because they didn't sound fun at all. But it's way more fun when you can do customer care really fast. It's really very hard when it takes like forever, but when you have things to like pull from and you know exactly what you're going to say and when you're going to say it, it really does help a ton.
Thank you so much, Miranda. Did you want to say anything
Welcome.
else, Mary? It's always exciting to hear someone's story, and we're going to be following along because we know you're going
Good.
places, and we appreciate your time. We appreciate
Yeah,
you sharing.
absolutely. Yep. Thanks for having me. I'll have a good night.
Thanks.